Hi, welcome to another episode of David Rides a Trike. I'm David, I'm riding a trike. If you've seen my introduction before and would like to skip it, just go down into the description area on YouTube where it says show more, and there will be a link that allows you to skip my introduction. If you haven't seen my introduction before, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I try to provide motivation for people with chronic illnesses and disabilities to get out, find some fun form of exercise. For me, it's riding this recumbent trike. Why? Because doing so can be therapeutic, and it usually turns out to be a lot of fun. Personally, I fall into both the chronically ill as well as disabled categories. I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic when I was a year and a half old. I had a pancreas transplant when I was 41 that cured me of being a diabetic. I've had 3 organ transplants in all. I'm legally blind. I've had stage 3 cancer with chemo. I've had all kinds of severe infections. The list goes on and on and on. So, do you use Strava? Is that a question you've ever been asked or heard? For those of you who don't know, Strava is a cycling app. I'm going to turn this around. This is kind of a cool there we go. Cool bridge and a cool view. Strava is a cycling app, although it can also be used, it also is used by runners. I think it's set up for swimmers, all kinds of exercise. And what it does is track your workouts. I use it for riding, so it tracks all my rides. There's also a social aspect of Strava. Sometimes it's called the Facebook for cyclists, although it's really not that socially oriented. But there's some that I'll get to. There are 2 versions of it, a free version, that's what I use, and there's a premium version. Free version gives you a lot of stuff. Each ride gives you a map of your ride. It allows you to zoom in great detail. Gives you your average speed for the ride, maximum speed, total time ridden, elevation gain, a lot of stuff like that. The premium version gives you a lot more power, output, heart rate, a lot of other things. Sorry, my phone is talking to me. I've always used the free version, and I've been quite happy with it. It's free, and it gives me just about everything that I would want. And second, it's free, and I'm not going to complain about it. There's really just no reason to. What's the saying? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Kind of how I feel about something like this. Anyhow, I'm going to give you 5 things that I like about Strava. No, I'm not going to give you 5 things I don't like about it because, as I mentioned, it's free and there's really not a whole lot more that I would want it to do. So, without further hesitation, first thing I like about it is just, and let me preface this all with saying, if you're not into the statistics of your rides, Strava is useless to you. But if you do like the stats, how far have I ridden, how far have I ridden this year, things like that, it's really nice. So the first thing I like about it is at the end of each ride, it gives you the summary of that ride. It tells you how far you've ridden, average speed, maximum speed, elevation gain, stuff like that I told you about. Gives you a map of the ride, and it's there forever. You know, you could look it up anytime if you're wondering, you know, what was it that one day that I rode? It's really handy for that. Second thing I like about it is the cumulative data it gives you. It will show you in a month your average number of rides per week, average distance ridden per week, time ridden in a week. It will also give you statistics for an entire year and for all time. And I guess that's kind of my geek side coming out. I love seeing those numbers. You know, oh, I need X number more miles to get to 10,000 miles or 20,000 miles or 2,000 miles for the year, that kind of thing. So I really like that. Third thing I like, Strava has something called segments, which are, as you could imagine, different segments of the ride. Anybody can create a segment. I've created segments, and you can name it whatever you want. And from then on, Strava tracks every rider who's been through that segment. Hang on, got to cross the street here. Every rider who's been through that segment and what their time was for doing it. And for each segment, there's a king of the mountain, or KOM. Sorry, yes, I know it's sexist, it's king. This is something I actually don't care about whatsoever. The other thing I like about segments is it will name what they call a local legend. Hello. And the local legend is the person who's ridden that segment the most times. I hold several local legends on this trail, but I guess the playing board is somewhat tilted in my advantage since this is the primary place I ride. Therefore, I go through these segments all the time. Still, it's just something that I enjoy, knowing that I've ridden that section more than anybody else. Next thing I like about Strava is the social aspect. Kind of similar to Facebook, you can follow your friends on Strava. Now I think in the free version, if someone wants to follow me, they just can. In the premium version, I believe someone has to get the okay from you to follow you. So, you know, if you're getting stalkers you don't want following you, I guess the premium version is for you. But, you know, most of the people I know who ride both trikes and bikes who are on Strava, I follow, and vice versa. And it's fun to see you get all their activities as they do them. You get the same statistics you get for yourself. You see a map, where they rode, average speed, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun to look at that, see what your friends were doing on a particular day. Also, similar to Facebook, you can leave comments on someone's ride, as well as give them kudos, which is the equivalent of giving them a thumbs up on Facebook. The last thing I like, we have someone standing in the middle of the trail. Hello. Man, I don't know if you could see, but that woman was on rollerblades, and this is a really sandy section of the trail, so I'm not quite sure how she's going to fare. The last thing that I like is that Strava interacts with several bike computers as well as other cycling apps. Oh, hi! I use a Wahoo Element as my cycle computer, and when I'm done with a ride, it just uploads all the data to Strava. It will do that with Garmin bike computers and maybe some others. I don't really know. And of course, you don't need those things to use Strava. You can just open Strava, hit the start button when you're ready to ride, and hit the stop button when you stop. And it takes into account, it automatically pauses if you stop, things like that, which is nice. So yeah, those are the things I like about Strava. Let me know your thoughts. That is it for this ride. As usual, I'd like to ask you to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Those things help my channel get seen, and I really appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you on the next ride. Bye-bye. One thing I forgot to mention is if you enjoy taking pictures during your rides, you can upload them to Strava. So each ride will have the pictures that you upload to it. Others can see those pictures, and what it will do if you're taking the pictures with your phone, it uses the metadata, and you can see exactly where you were on a map when you took each particular picture. Other people can't see that, just you, and that's kind of a cool feature. That's it. See you next time. Bye-bye.